All right. Welcome back to Why This Beer, the show where we dig into the people, stories, and experiences shaping the craft beer we love. I'm Aslan Graves from Main Street Brewing, and joined as always, Darren Benema of Neighborhood Brewing and Yellow Dog Penticton.
Hello, everyone.
And today we're joined by Ben Owens. Is it brewery supervisor?
Head brewer.
Head brewer. There we go. Sorry. Titles.
It's in my email, so it's official. Yeah.
Ben Owens, head brewer at 33 Acres. Brewery known for refining the classics while finding quiet, creative ways to push them forward. Ben's approach to brewing is deeply influenced by German tradition, clean process, patience, and precision. But he's not afraid to experiment. His work at 33 has been subtle, with thoughtful uses of botanicals and unique ingredients to layer complexity into beers and still feel grounded in balance and drinkability. In this chat, we'll talk about what Ben brought home from his time in Germany, how he blends tradition with creativity, and what excites him about the new hop year and the evolving world of lager brewing in Canada. Pour yourself something
That's
crisp and
beautiful.
join us as we sit down with Ben Owens of 33. Here we are.
Nice.
Cheers. Thank you. Yeah.
Cheers.
It was more eloquent than I could have ever said.
Stumbled a bit, but that's because still working my way through my warm-up beer here.
It's okay.
Exactly.
We can fix it in post.
Yeah. Some cheeky edits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Yeah.
Yeah. I did write that in a way that makes it sound like you're from Germany. Your accent obviously gives it away. So to start things off, can you share your journey about craft beer, how you got to where you are, and what was your first exposure?
Yeah, totally. Mine's a little bit of a different story, I guess. And yeah, I'm from Australia. I'm from Melbourne originally. I guess my first experience with craft beer would have been drinking like macro craft beer in Australia. The age of like 18, 19, and just thinking like, what's this weird fruity kind of lager or a pale ale, but enjoying it. And I moved to Berlin in 2010 when I was 23. And I had zero interest in craft beer. I had not much interest in beer. I had interest in cheap beer. And that's all I drank for like a significant amount of my time there. And in like Germany and Berlin, like the amount of kiosks with 50-cent half-liter beers, cold 24 hours. Like I didn't really care how it tasted. It was better than back home. And Sternborg was one of my favorites. I don't think I could even drink it now. But yeah, I was working predominantly in nightclubs in Berlin, and I was looking for a job on the side because the nightclub work was really, Saturday night, 16-hour shift, occasional Friday night, and like I'm like, I have a lot of time during the week. I love hospitality, and a friend got me a job at a I guess a traditional German brew pub or a Hausbrauerei called Hops and Barley, and I'd been there before, and it was like a real kind of like neighborhood hotspot, definite like old school pub vibes, super German. And I just started pouring beers there. I did 3 shifts a week.
Nice.
And like slowly I started to do more shifts there than in the nightclub. And I just started to really question like why that beer was just so delicious. Like they were mostly lager focused. Probably 50% of our sales was the North German Pils, but we still did one special beer on tap at any one time. So it was like a pale ale and an IPA and whatnot. And they weren't like anything special, but at the same time, I was like, this is fantastic.
Right.
And then after a few years, I just started to get really interested in like beer, the process. I was asking my boss questions. It was owned by one guy who was still brewing, and there were 2 brewers who worked there. And I started asking more questions. And then one day I was just like, how do you become a brewer in Germany? And he's like, well,
got the bug.
I like from drinking delicious Pilsner. And I was almost 30. So I was like, do I want to be working nightclubs for the rest of my life? And I knew the answer to that question. It wasn't completely sustainable. He was like, well, there's a few different ways. The most traditional way is you would do an apprenticeship. Where you find a brewery and you apprentice there, and then you do trade school, you do it for a few years, and then from there you can do different like Braumeister diplomas, or you could go to college. But generally that's how like most of the Germans start their like brewing career. And he was like, I'm looking for someone next year, do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, all right. Just said yes on the spot without even thinking, kind of like, well, in a year's time, that's so far away. Like I've got lots of time to figure my stuff out. And like as everything like didn't figure anything out, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I'm starting an apprenticeship at a brewery. I don't know anything about brewing. I am completely like untalented with like my hands, and could make a good cocktail, but like couldn't, no blue collar skills whatsoever. And it was all in German as well. So, I mean, my German was pretty good at the time, but still, I'd learnt German by speaking to people and drinking with people. So the thought of going to like class and learning about maths and science and everything like that was a bit daunting. But yeah, I started. It was awesome. Like
you're
I
like
have
probably one of
nothing
the
but...
few people who learned German in Berlin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think I think I have still like 5 to 10 Australian friends there, and not one of them can speak German. And they've all been there for like 10 years. It's just like that like difficulty with, you need to get your German better than the German's English. And like that's getting progressively harder and harder. But also I just tried. I was like, I feel stupid for not speaking a second language. And yeah, I just tried really hard when I moved there. But yeah, I don't know. I started the apprenticeship. It was a 3-year apprenticeship. It's actually apprenticeship as a brewer and a maltster. So you either work in a malting plant and you have to do practical work in a brewery, or vice versa. So most people do the brewery option, but like a lot of people still do the malting plant option. And yeah, so like it was really thorough education. There was so much focus on the malting side. There was definitely a lean towards like industrial brewing, but so much mathematics as well. Like the Germans just love calculating everything to a T.
Yeah.
Like the amount of like different like things that you can figure out with an equation with brewing, with math, sorry, in brewing is pretty nuts. And like my Herr Sasser, my professor, he'd be so ashamed if he found out I was using Beersmith. But yeah, it's too convenient when you just haven't got much time. It's like, I can't be bothered doing all the calculations. And like also, I'm not doing just like a start of boil, end of boil calculations. It's like when you're layering in so many hops, I'm like, I'm not going to be figuring that out. Or anyway, so I apprenticed there. I shortened it to 2.5 years, and probably with 6 months to go, I met a Canadian, and she moved back to Vancouver, and I finished my apprenticeship, and I visited her, and then we were like, what are we going to do? She's like, I'd prefer to move to Berlin. So she came to lived in Berlin for 2 years, and then COVID happened, and it was kind of like, my family's in Australia, her family's in Canada. Let's just move to Canada. So yeah, moved to Vancouver, and I just wanted to work at one of the best breweries that I could. So I just like sent an email to 33 Acres because I loved Ocean. It was one of my favorite beers when I came to visit here, and I think they replied like, yeah, pretty instantly, like, yeah, come in for an interview, and I got the job. Started work straight away, and that was in 2021. I left for 12 months and I worked at Superflux, which was awesome. And then Hamish, the old head brewer, left 33 Acres about almost 2 years ago, and yeah, I came back and kind of moved into that position, and that's where I am now. So yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah. And then you did a couple little passion project lager brews, didn't you, as well?
I did. Yeah. I really think that Vancouver in particular has a really poor pub scene. So like try and say it politically incorrect, like coming from Melbourne and living in Berlin, where like every street has like 24-hour bars and like pubs and cozy places in the winter. And I came here and I was like, why is there like 48 TVs in every single establishment? I just had this idea, like with another friend of mine, Derek, that we could contract brew, make a lager, and then find a venue. And just like I knew a lot of places were a cafe during the day, and then the evening were a bar. And so I was like, that would be kind of the angle. But we didn't find the right place, and it didn't work out. But like it was actually a lot of fun, like trying to find a venue and then hosting the night, and and it was fun.
I remember hearing from a buddy. He's like, "Oh, you got to come check out this like new thing." Yeah. Then realizing it was you that was putting on, I was like, "Oh, this is exciting."
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah,
Had a beer and a pickled egg, and
exactly. Yeah, we had sausage rolls, and
yeah.
no, it was a lot of fun. I was like, no one does a Helles in the city. I'm going to do a Helles. Like, I'm sure I can't think of any actually Helles that's like a core beer anywhere. But I like I love pilsners. That's like all they drink in northern Germany. But there's something about a Helles that I like. You know,
Yeah.
it just like hits so good. It's just like yeah. I probably would choose a Helles over a pilsner if I had to, gun to my head. But yeah, so I thought that would be
with it with that recipe specifically. Like, what was your approach? Why like?
I think that was one of the things that was I did find difficult with doing that recipe was I didn't have any real contacts at the time for like getting yeast. Like I'm sure I could have messaged people, but I just spoke to Hamish from 33, and he's like, "Yeah, we've got our like dark lager yeast, which is used in the California Common and the Schwarzbier." So that was my only option I had there. And like after going back to 33 and trying that yeast in pale lagers, it just really doesn't work. It's just extremely fruity and like ester forward, and like I thought, that was one aspect that like I found frustrating. But I honestly was just like, I'm just going to go a little bit of Carahel straight Weimann Barker pills, and just low and slow. We brewed it at Pal, or Dave from Pal brewed it for us. And I'm like, I don't want any findings. I want to go as close to Reinheitsgebot. I want the foam on this to like be so thick and just sit there. I'm going to spund it. I'm going to unitank it, like doing everything that like kind of was as close to tradition, but like adjusting some water chemistry. And like I like the beer. I did. I don't think like, I think it's really hard to like start from zero and just go for 20 heck to keg 40 kegs and just plan to sell them somewhere. And I think also that was kind of the first time I really used Barker pills, and I kind of, it's not my favorite grade, I think, since doing that. I'm not sure it's because I had so much of that beer.
You drank so much of it.
That I like, it's got such a specific character. I love it. I love it blended, like no more than 50%, but when it's 100%, I can just taste that Barker. Yeah, it's pretty intense. And and it's
Bark's got bite.
Bark's got bite. And like, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm thinking negatively about that beer or that project, but I guess there were things that like, I guess the reason behind doing it was, not necessarily to, make a lot of money or start a business, but just to try something. And totally. I learned so much about like, how would I do something like that differently? And I'd never contract brewed before. I'd never like, put myself out there as my thing. It's always been, this is 33 Acres beers, or this is hops and barley in Berlin beer. And then to be like, this is my thing, it was pretty terrifying. But it was great. Yeah.
So you've been at 33 now for like three or 4 years now?
I was there for 2 years. I left for a year to go to Superflux, and I've been back for almost 2 years. Almost 3.5 years, I think, in total. But for this stint it's kind of weird that I had a little break in the middle, but I've been there for 3.5 years. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. And like
when we were first talking about doing this episode, I was like, oh, I'm excited to get really into like traditional lagers with you. And I'm like, what? Because you've got the 33 House project going, which has been some like pretty awesome like variations on what is lager, which is great. Deep dive. And then I asked like what beers you wanted to do, and you're like, I think it'd be kind of fun to do the lemongrass lager and the the pilsner you did with lemon and basil, because you're like, I just kind of want to take the piss on like doing the things that I actually, you were saying, thought might not work and turned out really good.
I'm just a huge contrarian. It's like, what are the things that like I'm least interested in? And it's like, doing a traditional lager and throwing something in there that's not necessary. But like, that's why I love the Canadian beer scene as well, because there's so much openness to that. Not a single person from the tasting room, as far as I'm aware, this is from feedback, or anyone has been like, that's stupid, that's dumb to put like basil in a like kind of hybrid Hellas, I don't know, American lager kind of base. Like there's been no pushback. Whereas in Germany, like people would literally call you an idiot. And like with fair enough, it's just like, they're like, why would you do that when you don't have to do that? And here it's like, why won't I try that? Because it's interesting. And like spending so much time making like basil teas and trying to figure out a dosing rate for fresh basil.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I wanted to dive into, is like, how are you toying around with this stuff to get your dosage rate right? Obviously you're very particular about the base beer, and like with good reason. And then you develop this recipe, and how are you? Let's start with the lemongrass lager, because that's one you've done a few times now.
Hey, quick shout out to our friends at Hops Connect Canada. They've been hooking up brewers with quality hops for over a decade.
Yeah, started on a farm in Pemberton, and they got warehouses across BC, Ontario, and Quebec. Super reliable, and they actually get what brewers need.
They've got all the classics: Citra, Mosaic, Amarillo, Eldorado, Cascade. The list goes on, with lot selection starting at just 100 kilos.
But what we've really been digging lately is their liquid hop lineup. Total brew day game changers.
Yeah, stuff like Flex for bittering without the wort loss, Incognito for whirlpool flavor without the mess, and Spectrum for dry hopping with no hop creep.
I'm also a big fan of Hop 8 Anti-Foam. Less foam, higher tank fills. That's a win.
And if you're chasing that haze, Hop Haze keeps it locked in for up to 12 months. No flavor impact, just stable haze.
They've even got a brewing calculator on their site to show you just how much time and margin you can save. Super handy when you're dialing things in.
So yeah, if you're brewing in Canada, check out Hops Connect.
Solid people, solid hops. Hops Connect Canada, your partner in craft.
Yeah, I have to give full credit to the lemongrass to Hamish. That was Hamish's, the ex-head brewer's baby. It was his. He had this concept like years ago from trips to Vietnam of like, you're sitting outside and like people are just bringing you cold beers, and they're like a light lager, and there's all these smells of like jasmine, lemongrass, of just like the Vietnamese food. And that concept he wanted to bring into a beer. So he made it was called the Vietnamese lager originally. And then it went so well that every year we did like another kind of 20 hect batch and another 20 hect batch. And then when I came back and Hamish had gone, they're like, we want to do that again. And so like, I kind of looked at the recipe and just was like, well, I'm not going to change, Hamish's recipe. This was for like a seasonal batch last year. And so we just did it, and it like sold really well. And then management were like, we want a new core, and we want it to be the lemongrass. And then that's when kind of like dove a lot deeper into like, what kind of flavors do we want more of or less of in that beer? Like brewing a beer that was someone else's recipe, I wanted to have respect for what that was, but also wanted to have input of what I think that beer should be going forward. So made a lot of changes to the hops, and just mostly just the lemongrass and the jasmine amounts, like basically switched them, adding double the amount of fresh lemongrass that we like bring in day of every time we brew it. And we use dried jasmine flowers also in the whirlpool.
Okay.
And like played around with those amounts constantly. Like every batch was like, okay, let's do 10 pounds of lemongrass and let's do 5 pounds of jasmine, and just like playing with those. And then you have to have so many samples every week for like the flavor and aroma degradation of fresh product versus dried product. We found that like at the start you had like jasmine and lemongrass up here, and then the lemongrass is like slowly dropping off quicker than the jasmine. And then so trying to keep that balance of like, and if we throw too much lemongrass at it, then like it can get this kind of like slightly synthetic lemony kind of characteristic. And there's so much oil and stuff in the lemongrass that we found that like the head retention was just completely shot. And that was like, I probably cared about the head retention on lemongrass lager more than anything else for too long. And just like hyper focused on it. But yeah, that was the lemongrass, and then we launched it in spring, and then we kind of had that classic like April, May, all of a sudden sales like double. It feels like they double out of nowhere, and you're like chasing your tail, just like brewing everything. And then unfortunately, it's just how it is, just like kind of like doing sensory and trials with every batch and tweaking it, just like, okay, it's at a decent spot, let's just like keep going. And like only the last kind of 2 weeks were like, let's get back into lemongrass. We kind of we had some really good Spalter Select hops that were like really kind of classically noble, lightly floral, but had really nice citrus characteristic that like don't always get from Spalter. But so we were using them for the last like 4 or 5 months, and just now I've ordered in like, I don't know, from Hopsteiner like 6 or 7 different noble hops, and I'm like, I just want to do due diligence on this beer, and I want to find the hop that works best with it. And I don't know, we have no pilot kit, so everything's a 20 hect test. Which is
one at a time.
And like, so this is the time to do it, I guess. So now we're like really diving deep, and I think also the main thing with that is trying to find the right yeast. I'm like still, I think I mentioned earlier, we have our dark lager yeast that we just use exclusively in the Cali Common, 33 Acres of Life, and the Schwarzbier. But yeah, I've been trying to find a pale lager yeast that I'm like super happy with, and I think we're on our like 5th try.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just
Have you heard of 3470?
Yeah. I think I mentioned earlier I'm a contrarian. So no, 3470 is great. It's just one of those like, I want to spund everything. Like if it's a lager, and certain yeast strains as well, definitely it's like the time of spunding is like 0.2 Plato above, when the sulfur's kind of dissipated to a decent enough level. And so that's like one of the main issues we were having with the yeast we were using. And we brought in Nova yeast from Lallemand, and it's like sulfur negative, and then it's like so clean that it's like too clean almost. You know, it's like
you're like, oh, now I want a bit more character.
Yeah, exactly. Like, can we meet in the middle somewhere? And I think, Darren, maybe you like have like, I don't know, knowledge of this from the last 2 weeks, but like there's something special about drinking lagers at like random breweries in Germany, and just, I don't know, the yeast characteristics. Sometimes I'm like, this is so beautiful. Like, I don't know. It's like, I'm like, this isn't 3470. There's something special about this one. It's like,
definitely that marriage of like, you want some sulfur. You don't want no sulfur. You want like some minerality, but you don't want it to taste like minerally.
You
don't want it salty. You don't like, you want everything to be in balance. Like that's the thing too. Or one thing that I've really learned is that like a good German Helles is just like so perfectly balanced, where you're not getting too much hops, not getting too much malt, and then there is like a yeast character too that's in there, but it's not. It's like the last thing you'll kind of notice.
Totally,
and like a roundness too, to some of these lagers where if you're using 3470, I don't feel like it lends itself to a very round like mouthfeel. It's like very, neutral, dry. It's kind of good for like most lagers, but it's not like I don't know. It's hard to put your finger on it exactly.
I think like I'm never going to create my perfect lager with 3470. In like, maybe that's just, me being me. I just feel like, we would go to the local industrial brewery with like a pail, sanitized pail, and give them $20, and they'd be like, go into like, this is like with a 7,500 hect brew house, like a massive industrial brewery, and just go into the yeast room and just go to the yeast tank 4 and just pull some off. And that yeast was just like, I've been trying to get a vial of that sent over. I found out what strain it was now, but like, I don't know. I just found like there was just so much from like Weinstefan and the VLB. Like, you go to their yeast bank and like, we could order fresh pitchers of anything sent the next day for like €50 for like, I don't know, a 3 hect pitch or something, and prop it up. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like it's probably like rose-colored glasses looking back at my time there. Like, yeah, the yeast was better, and but yeah,
but
everything
yeah, I mean,
deeper.
Ben, that's our winter project, right?
it's our winter project.
And
Exactly.
I'll help you prop it up and slant it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm talking. I've just. Yeah, it's funny you were talking about Augustina, but we get a lot of our yeast from Imperial, and I was just like L17 harvest, like Augustina yeast, apparently. So I'm like, they're going to send a free pitch out, and we're going to prop it up, and that's the next one to be tried next week. So, giving that one a shot. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you guys. I feel like you guys have put out a lot of seasonal lagers in the past like 18 months. And is this all for Ben's quest for finding the perfect lager strain?
Yeah, it's like a part of it's that as well, but like we didn't have a core lager until like May. So like brewing like I don't know, a pale lager every like 2 months. I was like, I can't bring in a fresh pitch every time.
Yeah.
So now I've got this lemongrass. So it's like we've got a pale lager that, like, all things being equal, we can hopefully brew 20 heck every 2 weeks, and like, pardon me, sorry, we can keep that yeast going. So now it's like, it's been a real plan. But I've got a couple of strains, a couple of secret strains. I'll order some slants in Aslan, and we can have some fun.
There you go. Yeah. But I do have to say too, it's funny you sent. Aslan nicely shipped up this can of lemongrass lager, but in my fridge I had already had it in there, so it just went beside the other ones because they've been carrying this beer in Penticton at our liquor store, and I've had a couple 6-packs.
True,
very good. It's a great beer. It's like very light. Like, to me, the lemongrass is like pretty light, like light-handed. Like, if you're listening, you're like, whoa, this sounds like a crazy lager. It's like definitely lager first with like a little bit of botanical. Like, it integrates well with the hops, I find. Like,
cheers.
I was gonna say, it plays off the like that lemony hop character you're talking about with Spalter Select. Sorry, I don't have the pronunciation you got, Ben.
No, it's all good. I like just on that note, like, I have to like warning that I'm gonna sound like a bit of a dick pronouncing all the German words, but I can't not do it. I can't say I can't call it a Marzen. Like, it's just it goes against everything. But no, all good. I think that's you call a beer a lemongrass lager, there has to be lemongrass, but like I don't want like an overabundance of lemongrass, like when we released like the Mezcal Lime Gorza, that beer had kind of left the realm of beer for me. So it's like that beer you want to lean into like lime and like smoke and whatnot. But this is like, as you said it, I couldn't have said it better. It's like, it's lager first. It's, but trying to find the exact right marriage of the hops and like the botanicals, and like, it's still a work in progress. Like, and just like you're chopping up the lemongrass on brew day, and you're like, wow, this lemongrass is not the same as the lemongrass we had 2 weeks ago. This is like brown, and so it's like working with a fresh product it's fun. I don't know. It's like,
how do you treat it? Just like cut it up, or like is it lemongrass? One of them you have to bash it, don't you?
We just chop it up really small. It's 12 pounds, and like the brew and cellar team hate it as is when they have to brew like when they have to brew lemongrass, especially if we're doing like doubles of it. It's like, I want like the longest step mash possible, and like we've got a hop stand at 90 because we were doing like lots of like teas of like extraction of what flavor and aroma lemongrass do you extract at like 95, at 90, at 85, and we landed on 90. And like, how does that incorporate with the hops when you add the hops during the hop stand, or do you want to add them first? And I don't know. It's a long brew day as well as like sitting there chopping up lemongrass for an hour. But we were originally going to like try and mash it up with like a drill and a huge bit on it, but it just just didn't work. And but we've also playing with because we've been doing like this side project of releasing these adaptogenic waters. We're like always getting random samples of like natural extracts. So we've been playing around with like natural extract jasmine and lemongrass, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's like
it changes things for sure.
Yeah, it changes things in my heart and soul more than anything, I think. But like, just so just gonna keep tinkering with it, and
So are you doing a 90-degree hop stand and lemongrass, or is it you whirlpool warm and then cool and then add your lemongrass?
You ever feel like you've got everything dialed in except fermentation?
Oh yeah. If your yeast isn't consistent, the whole batch can go sideways.
That's why we've been checking out Yeast Canada Innovations. They're Canadian-owned, brewer-focused, and they get what you need. Reliable strains, solid flavor, and real support when things get weird.
And shipping is smooth. They've partnered with Hops Connect, so your yeast comes from the same warehouse, BC, Ontario, or Quebec, right with your hops.
Even better, if you ship together, your yeast ships for free.
And they're not charging premium prices either. The pricing is super approachable, which means more budget for the fun stuff, like more beer.
Here's the kicker. If you're listening to this podcast, you can get 5% off your first order at yeastcanada.com. Just hit up their team for the code.
Yeast Canada Innovations. Let's elevate your craft.
No, so we like boil end, hop stand to 90, then whirlpool, and then we add all the hops and the tea bag of dried jasmine and the tea bag of fresh lemongrass all at 90 degrees. We whirlpool for like 10 minutes, sit for 10 minutes, and then we start casting out. And they're like hanging on a chain inside the kettle. So like they're sitting in there for like an hour. Yeah, right. Probably. Yeah, probably drops down to 85 maybe by the end of cast out. So yeah. I think we'll probably experiment with that as well because, making teas, it's not the same as throwing something in water. Like it is a good representation, but it's not, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
I just want a pilot system.
There's always there's always that issues with scalability and like bench trials and stuff and like what the reality is.
Oh, totally. And I think
and then the other side of just like always erring on the side of caution because you're like, like this is 20 hex, not 200 mils.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like there's like a decent amount of money if this doesn't down the drain if this is no good. So but I don't know. Yeah, it's like something that I never did in Germany, right? Like any of this, like we weren't making teas. No. We weren't testing out any botanicals or anything. So like this is like a different side of things, and
So that leads to the next one too, like botanical wise, the Say Hey Cafe beer. How'd that collab come about? How'd the ingredients? Were you like Master Chef with this one? Was it like and your secret ingredient is?
That's pretty much what Will, the operations manager, said. Yeah, he just was like, we're doing basil. No, what happened was we did a couple of kind of not really collabs. We did like this meatball throwdown with Say Hey Cafe, where each cafe or restaurant is paired with a brewery, and like they make a meatball related object, and you give them a beer. And we did that with them, and we won last year. And then,
like this sandwich, that beer.
I think it's called the Meatball Throwdown. I swear it was at the American. And Lena from Say Hey Cafe has also cooked at 33 for special events. Because she has Say Hey Cafe, the awesome sandwich shop. And then they just got together with like Kyle, head of sales, and was like, let's do a collaboration. And she was like, well, we get all of our vegetables and everything from this organic farm in Langley. I think Glorious Organics. It's on the can, actually. I think it's Glorious Organics. Yeah. And they invited us out to the farm September last year, and it was awesome. Basically, they put on the like best spread of food I've had in I don't know how long. Like cooked so much great meat and all the vegetables from there. Took us on a tour. Like we were like playing with chickens, and I don't know. We were there for like 7 hours, and then they were just like, so we've got like all this leftover basil. What should we do? Like, because we talked about as basil lager. Will from 33 was just like, he lived in New York and was like, yeah, I drank a basil lager once. It was really good. And my initial reaction is whenever Will gives me like a dumb idea is like, absolutely not. But like, he really like kind of kept selling me on it and the hops we could use and how it would work. And like, basically came to the conclusion, like they had all this leftover basil. They were going to like dry it, freeze it. And then for the next year's harvest, we were also going to get fresh basil. And then they were going to do that in combination with Tomato Harvest Festival and have like a tomato sandwich festival with like a basil beer and have like a farmer's market at the brewery where they were like selling like produce and whatnot. And I guess it kind of makes sense. It's a little on the nose for me having a basil lager and a tomato festival. It kind of leans into that, like, I don't want this to be a margarita beer. Like, I don't want it to smell like it. Yeah, we made so many tinctures with different amounts because we're like, I don't want to add any of this organic basil after, like, any time after the heat exchanger because, like, yeah, it's organic and like who knows. And so we were making tinctures and like as soon as it would sit on alcohol for like more than a day, it just smelled like pesto. And yeah, but I wanted to have like a backup plan for like if we don't get enough basil flavor in this, like what are we going to do? Because they were like, we don't know how much basil we're going to harvest. We're just going to give you everything. And I'm like, how much is that? They're like, we don't know. So like it ended up being 3 kilos. All of the stuff they like got from the previous year was not usable. But they gave us 3 kilos of fresh basil, and like from all the like tests and everything we were doing, we were like kind of sitting around like anywhere from like 2 to 4 maybe. It's also really hard to like weigh out enough basil to like get an accurate representation of how much there is. Like using like a little bit like the using the micro scales to try and get like 0.1 of a gram, and then like
the weed scale out there.
Using the weed scale. So like it was also like this one we think is the best, but like that beer also, our lead brewer Chris, I brought him on that, and he did a lot of that work because I was like, this is gonna be fun. Do you want to like just make basil teas and you and I can do the recipe together? And he did most of the recipe actually for that one. And he was just bringing me teas every week. Like, hey, this is like 90 degrees for this lung. This is 80 degrees. This is like, I don't know, 0.5 grams per liter, 0.2 grams per liter, 1 gram per liter. And we were just going through everything and like drinking so much, like, I don't know, 2-day-old basil water. And like, and just like, I think this is the one. And then when they gave us 3 kilos, I think I took like 300 grams. And then I was like, 2.7's 2.7 is the right number. But that was kind of like...
You got pesto for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Had a lot of pesto. But that was kind of like, I want, similar to lemongrass, maybe even more so. I want there to be basil, but like, I don't want it to be pesto. I don't want it to be like an Italian salad. Like, And like, I guess the cool thing with this beer is we used all BC ingredients, like 5 Fields malt. Pardon me, sorry. We got the hops from Myrtle Meadows. They sent us like their whole hop catalog, and like we went with their SARS, and the organic basil was from BC. So that was another thing. Like we wanted to keep it like local, which is not something we really do, to be honest. Like it's something that like conveniently like happened. When just as the tariffs were happening, and like, this is a good time to like lean into that. But something that like we definitely explore further. And like, I don't know. I haven't drunk this like in a little while.
The BC sauce is pretty cool.
It's so not anything like Czech sauce. No, but like in not a bad way. It's like when I was smelling, I'm like, I don't know. I think Jeff from Brassneck, they use it a lot, and like he gave me a few of their lagers. I think the Euro Pills, and same thing, got so much lemon off it. And Will and I were like, Will was really wanting me to put a lemon tea bag in there. I'm like, let's just, the basil's enough. We went with those hops. We used a decent amount as well. I think we might have used 10 kilos, but I don't know. There was the first time we'd really used Myrtle Meadows, and they were awesome. The beer was good.
Yeah, they're great. Ilko's a pleasure to work with, and
totally, it's something we definitely want to explore further. And I don't know. I feel like after just going down to Yakima and everyone's releasing their like fresh hop beers, I'm like, I just want to do a fresh hop lager. Like not because like that's all I do, but like I don't know. Also because I think everything is obviously fresh hop pale ale, IPA, hazies, and everything. And in Germany, there's a decent amount of fresh hop lagers,
Right.
and I've enjoyed them a lot. So anyway, like would be super
Yeah.
keen to do that next year and to work with them more. I think like as I said, I haven't tried this in a couple of months. I think this was packaged like 3 or 4 months ago, but I'm
It's
excited to
great. I
try
mean,
it.
the basil's like
They're still
present,
there.
but no,
Yeah.
yeah, but like in a way that I don't know. I guess my preconceived notion when I opened it and tasted it was that I'm like, this is going to be pesto-y. Not at all. It like intermingles. It's all those other characters of basil that people attribute to it. So it is like, I don't know, slightly citrusy. It's floral, but like it's not too savory, and
it's changed a
much
lot
like
as well. Yeah, it's a different. The basil itself is like I guess not as fresh smelling, but I did find it like quite pungent at the start. It's almost mellowed a little bit.
It's kind of funny. Like I don't think I've had a beer with this much basil in it, and it does give like the illusion of freshness too. It's like that fresh, when you're like walking through like a garden or like where you were at the farm. I'm sure you could like smell it.
Yeah,
it always like tastes so like to me. I'm like, oh, it's such a fresh summer flavor.
Totally,
But,
yeah.
like when I smell it in this beer, I'm like, oh, it's a fresh beer, like freshly
Totally.
harvested beer.
Yeah, freshly harvested beer for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you finally have something
Off
for
the
when
farm.
that guy comes into the tasting rooms. Like, you got anything brewed today?
Yeah.
It's like,
So,
we got this
thick.
4-month-old basil lager, but it smells like it was brewed today. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like it was. I never want to dislike a beer, but I'm like, I'm not going to like this beer, and I was like, I kind of really like this beer.
Well, nothing is like the other lager though too. It's not overpowering, right? Like, like I love Storm Brewing and all their gloriousness, but it's not like when if their thing was basil lager, I would expect something different, right? Where this is
totally
more in line with like a 33 acres.
I think
portfolio.
I think that's it. I think like 33 Acres has like such a specific kind of brand. At least we think we do, and experimentation is a part of it. But like definitely, it wouldn't have suited to have like just an in-your-face like pesto bomb. And for me, like the first thing I said when I drank this, I was like, this is really good. I think it would have been better without the basil. I think it would have been a really good, like, not because it wasn't good, but I was like, wow, I do like the tones underneath it. And I think the Five Fields malt is like, we've definitely used them like a couple of times a year, but fantastic.
This was also this one was the Five Fields.
This one was Five Fields. This was, actually, we cheated a little bit. We put a tiny bit of Carahel in there, but otherwise it's Five Fields Pilsner. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit like a honey note in the malt sweetness there, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely. I love Carahel. I don't use it a lot, but like it's one of those. It was used in the Pilsner that we brewed in Berlin, and so it always has this like characteristic that kind of like takes me there. And it's like I don't know. Yeah, I love all Weimann crystal malt, or caramel malts. I just feel like something special. But
Darren, you were just at the Weimann facility, right?
Yeah, humble brag. I was there checking it all out, and snacking on all these different delicious Weimann. It was very good. Had lots of a very great tour guide, and I mean, now I gotta buy a bunch more malt. Feel obligated.
Obligated to Francesca.
Now I gotta get some more, but it was really cool. I mean, I was already a big fan before, so it's just kind of like, oh, nice to see where this is all being made and kind of how big they are, which is not that big, but it's like now I can kind of picture it where the malt's coming from. And I think the biggest takeaway that I found was like they just really are like focused on quality. Like they're not trying to grow, they're not trying to be like big. I mean, grow in a way that fits their business, but they're not trying to be the biggest, I should say. They're just like going to be very quality focused, and that was the through line throughout everything that they did. And the tour too is like, we were strong. it to be the best quality malt when you get it.
It's pretty crazy the variety too that they have within their portfolio.
It's nuts. There's like ones that
compared to other like other maltsters, you're like, oh yeah, no, they do like all the caramel, all the chocolate,
so
all
many
the
caramel malts,
and they
like Carabelge. I'm like, what is Carabelge? And he's like, even I don't really know, man. Like no one knows.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, wow, what's this? Yeah. So it was cool to see. All the different colors of the rainbow of the drums of crystal malt, which I didn't know they have if you take a one big Saladin box of their malt, they have to like do very small batches of the crystal malt so that it can stay like consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So that the color is like consistent throughout the whole batch. If you do too much malt at one time, it's like too hard to have it homogeneous, I guess. So
homogeneous,
True. Yeah. It's got. Did you arrive on the train as well? And like when the train's pulling in, you can see like the Viaman malting plant. Yeah, Aslan, you were there as well this year, actually. So
we took the train in when Mitch and Mike and I went. And it totally felt like I was like, pulling the train into Hogwarts or something.
Totally right. Yeah.
We were bougie. We had a car.
You had a car. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can still. Yeah. What did you think of Bamberg?
Bamberg was great. I really enjoyed our time there. If anything, I would go back again. Very like conquerable city, like very small, and like
you can walk everywhere almost.
Like we were tourists there, but like not as touristy as other towns that I've been to. I mean, we were out there on the weekends. Like a lot of the tourists were like German tourists from Germany.
Yeah,
I was like, I guess so. Yeah, it's like kind of like
I'm in the right place.
Place. So that was kind of cool to see a lot of that, and just we were mostly just eating and drinking the whole time we were there. So going out to like amazing bars like Spezial, Marsbrau, Käsemann, and just it was definitely heartening to see how many people are just crushing lagers there. You come from like Canada and North America and seeing people are drinking beer, but they're drinking cocktail or they're drinking wine or whatever. Like you go to the restaurant, but all these places we went to, it's just like people are having a half liters, like multiple half liters at a time, and lots of like you could tell lots of regulars, like the wait staff knew half the people there. Like it's just like a lot of the same people going and having lagers, which was cool to see.
That's sweet. The regulars called Stummies. Stummies in German, Stammgast. Like a regular guest. Often in those small towns, they'll have their like their mug on the wall.
Their mug,
and they'll come in and like pull it down, and I don't know, it's just it's such a different beer culture there, and
the Stammgast idea was something that was like introduced to us when we were in Czech, and I thought that was a really cool thing of like you have a guest that like you always hold a space for. They're like there's always a table in the corner that's reserved for the Stammgast, whether or not they're there, and so it's like because you're the person who goes and like as the Stammgast or the person that goes and pays the bills Monday to Friday, and you're well behaved and you don't take a lot of attention and you're a pleasure to be around. So you're just like there's a spot for you always, even if we're at capacity.
Totally.
Like, we had that when we went to visit the brewery in Mönchengladbach, and then he goes, you can sit in this corner table. Like I think they'll come, but they might not come. And then, so we sat there, and then they did come, and we had dinner. Like in Bamberg, you share like it's all kind of tables. If you're you'll just get put with people.
Totally.
No matter what. There's no like separate tables. You're not like putting tables together or taking tables apart. Like like you're just sitting at a table. For us, we were like mostly sitting at tables with like older German folks that their English was like kind of good, definitely better than my German, but like not as good as some of the younger Germans as well. So that was always entertaining, but it was we're Canadians. We gotta
exactly. Germans when they drink is so friendly and so chatty. Like that's when they're at their happiest.
That's great. So you just came off of Hop Harvest. You talked about grabbing a selection of some of the Steiner hops.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the ones that are like really piquing your interest right now?
Perla, Hopsteiner Perla was fantastic. It was so interesting because we did Yakima selection and then we had the appointment to meet with Hopsteiner. And I was just kind of like, yeah, like we'd love to, like, we want to get our Europe hops through you guys. We've got no space for, any of our American hops. It's all through YCH now. And he's like, yeah, just come down. And they like pulled off like 10 different samples of like all the ones that I like inquired about. And yeah, just everything. And we sat there like sampling all of that. And then behind them was just a wall with like probably like 16 taps and then a TV above it. And it was like, they had breweries around America who had brewed a specific beer with one of their hops, and it was all of their kind of trademark hops like Bravo and Allura and whatnot. But then, of course, they pulled out all of those hops and like, while you're here, do you want to like sample these and like sample this hop? And then look, this is a brewery that brewed it in like, I don't know, like a dry hop Pilsner. And we were like, we'll stay here for like half an hour and like, we'll just chat Euro hops and I might sign a contract. And it was like, no, we stayed there for like 2 hours and we're like, I don't know, that experience of like doing like rubbing and then you've got a beer right there with that hop in it, I'd never really done before. And that was like definitely a sales tactic, but I was like, man, like I left that being like, I'm totally here for it. I left there being like, I'm doing something with Allura. Like that was probably the best hop we smelled down in Yakima. Like it was fantastic. He brought it out and we were all just like, this is fantastic. And I was, just like, so what lot is this? And he's like, I don't know, I can try and find out. And I was like, can you just pull a 20 kilo box? I don't care. We'll just like take this lot. We'll just make a hazy with it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He said he's going to try. I don't know. I was still going to wait and see. But that was awesome. But the European varieties was awesome. They had a new variety that from the States, which I think is going to be called like Hallertau blend. It's like an American grown Hallertau that they're like blending of other hops to try and like, I guess save costs on importing and whatnot. And that one was really awesome as well. Like it wasn't super like classical Mittelfrüh or anything, but that was really nice. I don't know. Everything was really good. It was like, I don't know.
So were you getting to like select your German hops that you use for the year or just a couple to try?
That was just kind of trying out because we hadn't officially decided to like, go with Hopsteiner.
Right.
But the plan is to do that like selection next year when they get like different lots in. Cause I've never, not even in Germany, I've never selected a European hop. Like it's only something that I've done with Pacific Northwest through Crosby or YCH. So that's something that like I feel like I would like to see more change of in Canada. Of like generally it's like I want to make a beer with like this hop variety. I just buy it from my supplier.
Yeah.
And like if you are like if you have the ability to put something in a core where you can contract at least like 100 kilos, I think it would be awesome to have like some kind of lot selection because the brewery I worked at, we predominantly used Tettnang, and we had a farm in Tettnang where we would buy from a third party, but like we knew the farmers. We always bought from them. We had like a poster in the brew house of the guy who ran the farm, and he's like topless with like green overalls. He's just like 6'6" German guy rubbing hops. It was like the mechanics place, but not like women in bikinis. It was
right. Just like
a big German guy rubbing hops, and he just had signed it saying like greetings from Tettnang. And like that Tet, I haven't had Tet that good in Canada. I'm not saying like we get bad hops from, but like having that ability is something that I don't know. I would love to have some control over the hops we bring in, especially if it's going to be used in a core or just in general. Like, and
yeah. Well, I think all the breweries in BC are like upping their lager game too, where like now it's a focus more than it maybe has been in the past.
Totally.
I know we've had like good, like there's good hops coming in here from Germany too. I get some of them, but it's not like I have big complaints, but it also would be nice to have that same control that you have for some of the other North American hops. Be like, hey, like maybe we get like 3 samples, even if they're pellet samples, right? And you're just
totally,
let's try these. I think they usually do like bigger lots in Europe. It seems like they'll just like amalgamate huge, like almost an entire farm. Sometimes it seems like, so it's not quite as like some of the American lots are like very specific, and then bigger breweries will like amalgamate lots together for
Totally.
their brewery. But yeah, I'd be interested for sure in like doing that a bit more. I've never done that for the only one I've done is with sats. I've been able to select sats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's like what I'd be super interested as well. Like when you're selecting Citra or anything like that, I don't know. There's just like so much variation I find. But like, how did you find
I was
selecting
gonna say
Sats? Were
like
you
with
like,
Sots, there's a pretty wide variation, and like last year I did it with David Carrier, and doing it again this year.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
it's like
yeah.
the samples you get and the variety that's within are pretty wild. You kind of it's nice too in the sense that you do like do a Zoom meeting and rub them all together.
True. Yeah.
It's like a group rubbing of the hops.
Everyone has the same lots, obviously, so everyone's like, okay.
Which is cool because then you're doing it. It's like, oh, I'm selecting with like the guys at like Halfway Crooks or something like that. They're like, do the hop rub too, which is cool. And I think that just the nice thing is like there's not like a dud of the lots. It's just some people want like that really classic stats, and some people want like, oh, I really want like this really lemony citrus kind that's almost
totally
overpowering kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it with like there's so much more focus on lagers, and like I feel like when you look at North America and the hype breweries, there's been like it was hazies for so long and that kind of stuff, and then now like I feel like maybe it's just in like brewing circles, but like the hype breweries are like, have you heard about this lager brewery in like XYZ? And I find that really cool as well. Like I mean, it's like we're pretty lucky to be able to go down to like other lands in Bellingham, and like I went to Freem. I did a road trip through Oregon this summer, and I went to Freem, and I was just blown away. I was like, this is like, I don't know, just like the quality of the lagers that like. I was blown away by the lagers, and then they were giving me the pale ale and the IPAs and the hazies, and I'm like, you guys have no right for these IPAs to be this good as well as the lagers. Like that's just just not fair.
Hey, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. And then like I think Hamish was messaging just like, oh, you should try their mixed firm stuff. I'm not even gonna bother. Like, but like, I don't know. That to me is like super exciting because I don't know. I'd like everyone's kind of like anticipating what's that next big thing. Like there was kind of like sours and like hazies obviously like took over. And I feel like sometimes people are like trying to anticipate that. Like, what if we jump on this and that's the next big thing? But I just feel like lagers has been just a slow burn, and it's like slowly going up. It doesn't seem to be like holding off. Whereas I don't know. And that excites me for sure. That then when you do have that appreciation for lagers and more breweries making lagers and more competition for like what lagers are better, and then the consumer also having more of an idea of what is a good lager, then the beer just gets better naturally. And like like you see with IPAs and everything over the last 20 years in North America, the same thing with lagers will happen, I think.
It's that rising tide, lifts all boats type of thing. The more we all talk about it, the more we'll all focus on it.
For sure. Yeah.
I remember one thing, I'm pretty sure it was a chat with you probably like a year and a half, 2 years ago, seeking out T45 European hops.
Oh yeah.
You were saying that was something you were saying that was something you used a lot of when you were in Germany. And then when I was at Bohemia Hop in May, they were talking about how T45 is like a big thing of what they do.
And like hop extract
using traditional noble hops in T45. What do you think the difference is in that?
I mean, it's like it's obviously not the same as cryo, but like I think it does like
you're not using it as like, oh, this is my way to amp up my IPA.
No. Like for me, I like, especially if I'm thinking of a Pilsner, if I'm thinking of like a German or a Czech Pils, like I want maximum aroma. And then I do find that like a lot of Pilsners that I've made and drunk, it can have that kind of grassy vegetal note, which is like, if you just throw more hops at it, it like it's gonna go there
more and more.
Exactly. And like I feel like T45 is a really good option for that. The issue is T45 is generally like made for kind of industrial breweries to like have a consistent alpha acid, and they don't necessarily do like the aroma varieties. They're not really like thinking about like, but it's something that I feel like I would like to explore more of. Yeah.
I feel like that's what Bohemio is talking about. Is it's like, well, like then that way your pellet can always be 9% alpha.
Like, I don't care. Yeah, and it's often not the varieties. Yeah,
or it wasn't about like.
We can get alpha elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. We've got options.
Yeah,
we don't like. Yeah, I don't know. At our size, anyway, it's not that important. But like, I don't know. It's something that like I've speaking to Charles Farram, speaking to Hopsteiner, like they both were like looking into it, and it was like, we have a couple of English varieties kind of, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. That to me is something that we definitely did in Germany, not a whole lot of, but it's something that I would like to explore more of, or I would like hop companies to like factor in the aroma qualities of noble hops and how they can be utilized in the boil and whirlpool. And because I think that to me is like it's probably one of the main things that I get a drawback on lagers is when there is something that's kind of like wet hay, grassy, vegetal is like a flavor that is kind of common. And it's not necessarily even that much of a negative. Like I still love a lot of those beers, but it's something I'm like, oh, if this just had a slightly more refined aroma, this could be like a 10 out of 10, you know? And
well, and especially with a lot of the traditional hops trending lower and lower in alpha, it can be like a little tricky to hit those aroma qualities while loading in enough.
Totally. Yeah. Just keep throwing more hops at it. I don't know.
No problem.
I mean, that's I've been using a lot of Blueski for that reason.
True.
It's like consistently hitting around like high 3, like 3.8 to 4.5. Whereas like, exactly. Big Whopper versus the
change your calculations there. Yeah.
2.8 slots.
Yeah, we had 2.2 TET last year as well. It's just like
wow.
But I know. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we've kind of talked about it a bit about what excites you, but is there anything besides like the slow burn of lager that's exciting you about the Canadian brewing industry or the BC brewing industry? Kind of get your perspective on that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like I actually, when you sent these questions, I was thinking about it, like, wow, that's like a hard question to answer at this time because it's been like, I feel like kind of the hardest 12 months. I've only been here for 4 years, but it's been the hardest 12 months with like closures and I don't know. Just, it's not like a BC, specific thing either, but like just the amount of articles on craft beer and like Gen Z not drinking and economy and all that kind of stuff. It's something that, I'm like, I want like the thing that would excite me would be like, those craft beer drinkers to keep going up or to go back up. That would be the most exciting thing. But like, I think, I don't want to focus on the negatives or anything. I think ultimately, like, the thing that excites me is the people in craft beer and like the experimentation, especially in BC, is something that is still new to me. Is still like, not just like the beers we talked about today, but like the amount of crazy stuff you see in the beer scene coming out is something that kind of really excites me, but also people definitely having a stronger focus on quality. And I don't know, I feel like the beer scene has gotten a lot stronger. I personally would love to see, the thing I'd love to see more than anything is kind of like an ease on like red tape and bureaucracy in BC on how difficult things are. And I think I would love to see more of a focus on hospitality, like Darren, like you've kind of spoken about it, like the places you go to, the breweries you go to in Germany, and not just in Germany, even in the States, like you go to other lands or other breweries, you're like, that couldn't exist in BC. It's just a brewery in a house in a suburb. I would love to see some change there, and I would love for there to be more people doing things like that out of the box and like doing things. I find like, I find it's like it seems to be a hard city to open a brewery,
right?
And maybe that's too negative focus, but like I would love there was the big thing about, the taxes and everything of craft breweries compared to the industrial ones. And like, I'd love to see change there. And I just would love to see breweries in like BC, like kind of thriving. And
yeah, fair.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I covered a lot of points there, but yeah, I don't know. I just find spending most of my time in Germany, and especially the hospitality and the brewery scene there, it was just, I don't know. It was just so different to going to a place and it wasn't like, oh yeah, you're only allowed to have this much percentage of your floor space dedicated towards hospitality. It was like, it's like, I got my Bruce kettle there, and I put a smoking room out back, like whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want smoking rooms in Vancouver, but like, and like an easing of how hard things can be here sometimes to get,
for sure. And for what, right? Like, it's all comes down to money a lot of the times.
Yeah, totally.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, you go.
Yes. The other follow-up question would just be, for those new to the craft beer scene or stepping in the industry, what advice do you have for those that been at it for a while? What keeps it just fresh like that lager, that basil lager?
Fresh like that basil lager. I'm not sure if it was as fresh as it was 2 months ago after just finishing the pint. It's still good, but I think it's such a fantastic industry and thing to be a part of. And I think you have to be passionate and you have to like find your love with it. Like, I don't think this is something that a lot of people can do for a long time without having that. But once you find that, it's something so beautiful that blends like hard work and creativity and like friendship and community that like, just blows my mind. And I don't know. I think it depends who like this message is targeted to, I guess. But like, I don't know. I think just in the industry specific, in the brewing industry, for like people starting out working and who've been there for a while, just like find the best people and like empower the best people, because like, when you have great people working with you and for you and above you, it's just like, it's such a perfect and beautiful industry to be in. But like, I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Find your people.
Find your
people. Is a huge
thing,
right? Yeah. Don't waste your time with the wrong people.
Don't waste your time with the wrong people. And like,
I love it.
Find the awesome weird beer people you can chat with and you can like drink a beer over.
Get excited about basil.
Exactly.
Beer,
Yeah. Find that person that you can like sit down and you could talk about one beer with for like 15 minutes and over that pint, and then you could also sit down and not talk about that beer at all with that person, like my favorite beer is always the beer that is just a pure like kind of binary experience where like your brain just shuts off and you're just like you have a sip and you're like, yes. It's like, I'm not thinking. I know this is good. I don't need to like figure out why it is, and like
don't need to explain to somebody why.
I don't need to explain, and like I don't even want to explain. I don't want to know why this beer is good. It's just purely like yes every time. That's like
nice. Sweet. Wow. And when you're not at the brewery, how do you like to spend your time?
With like I have a 18-month-old daughter, and so like most of my time is with my wife and my daughter, and Aslan, it's
Darren knows more than me.
Oh, Darren,
Darren's got 3.
Darren's got 3. Whoa,
3.
Man, I'm sorry for even bringing up that I have one.
I also have an 18-month. That's great.
Oh, too. Yeah. It's busy. It's so much fun.
Nice.
Spending time with them. Like, I am super close with my family back home in Australia. My parents are actually visiting right now. So I don't get to spend a lot of time with them. So like spending time with my friends and family here as much as possible. But outside of that, I think my greatest passion is also probably tied into beer. When I started my apprenticeship, I would finish my shift at 3:00 every day, and I would sit at the bar and no one would come to the bar for like an hour to open up. And I would sit there and have like 3 like small beers, and I go home, and like I did that for like 3 months, and I was like, I don't know if I can like do this 5 days a week for the rest of my life, but it's like I'm enjoying it so much. So then I counteracted that with getting into running, and then I just became like obsessed, and then got into like half marathons, and then just like discovered ultra marathons. And I don't know, I think it's like part of my like, I don't know, personality that I like have to do things to the extreme. It's like, yeah. I had friends in Berlin that were like, when I tried to learn German, I'd like did it so intensively. And then when I went to brewing school, I like did it so intensively. I was like studying all the time. And when I got into running, I'm like, no, I've got to run as far as possible. And it's like, if I'm into it, I'm like intense. And if I'm not, then like, yeah. But like, I think it's like, yeah, it's super important for me to want to like be in the alcohol industry and consume alcohol, but also live a healthy life. So yeah, it's like and it's a great city for it. Find that balance
of your extremes.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to try and find balance with my extremes. Totally. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thanks for doing this. This has been a lovely chat. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, man. Yeah, and thank you for having me on.
Yeah. If people want to buy these beers, I mean, by the time we got around to this interview, in full disclosure, we meant to do this earlier. So the beers were in the back of my fridge for a while. So maybe the Say Hey Cafe.
This is the last one.
Maybe the last one.
It's been sitting in the fridge at work, hidden for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
But if people want to buy the lemongrass lager and any other 33 Acres beers, where can they get them?
The lemongrass lager, I'd say go to a BCL, but you can't go there right now. But the lemongrass lager
is done by the time this comes out.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, if the strike's not done, it's going to be an interesting few weeks. It's available in most liquor stores in the Lower Mainland, on the island, in the tasting room. It's distributed pretty widely right now.
Sweet.
Darren's been crushing them in Penticton.
Yeah, they're in Penticton.
Yeah, fantastic.
There you
go.
Yeah. We also sometimes get the Fluffy Cloud IPA as well.
Fluffy Cloud. Yeah. Fluffy Cloud is well. That's that beer is one of the beers that's like continuing to grow. Like we've seen like a kind of like tiny decline on some of our core brands, and Fluffy's like still growing, which is beautiful. Yeah. Especially in the Alberta market. We ship it to Alberta and on the island.
Right.
Yeah. It's
and if there's anyone's listening in Calgary, there's a 33 Acres out there, right?
There is, yeah. We have what we call 33C, which is in Calgary. I couldn't even tell you the address, to be honest, but we have a 5X system out there, and it's in downtown, I guess. And,
it's like
pretty welcome spot.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been out there. That's beautiful in the photos. And Mark, the brewer out there, is a legend. He came to Hop Selection with us, and he's a beaut. He gets to do his own things there, which is super exciting. So you can always find something different there. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Great. Well, thanks for doing this with us.
No worries. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. If you want to support Aslan and I, you can also buy the beer that we make, which is Neighborhood Brewing Beer, Main Street Brewing Beer, and Yellow Dog Brewing Beer. We're also kind of widely distributed across Vancouver and the Okanagan as well. Tell your friends about the upcoming episodes of Why This Beer. We have an Instagram page where we'll post when episodes are available. Anything else, Aslan? That's it.
I think that's everything. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Ben.
I appreciate you guys doing this, right? Like, I don't know. You guys take your time, and like, I don't know, spreading the word of beer is something that is awesome. It's great. Yeah.
Well, we like talking beer. It's great.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, nothing better.
It totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay, until next time. Cheers.
Cheers.